Hi there, I'm Simon Canton and welcome to a new video. In the last video I went over some of my marketing tactics that I was trying out towards my book The Bite Collection, which is a collection of 6 of my fantasy books. And in that video, at the end of it, I said that the next thing I was going to try was experimenting with price. So this is a follow-up video to that one, which I'll just give you some overview of what happened in the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. And if you see here, I've got up my testing tool. So the first test is what I went over in the last video. So I was spending $5.46 per day. I was earning $6.23, which is a 14% profit. I was getting 24% of people to click a link when they visited this A/B testing website. And that led to a sales rate of 9% when they got to Amazon or Apple, wherever it was. So that was when I had the description I mentioned last time, sword, sorcery, and jet-powered railcars. I then added price to the description. So at the end of the description, I then said it cost $9.99. And then I started making a 8% loss. So if you see here, I was spending less per day in terms of dollars. I was making $4.41, but the retailer click rate, the amount of people who clicked from Blurb Tester to Amazon, went down to 3% from 24%. And the sales rate, once they got there, went up to 63%. So a lot less people visited Amazon or Apple, but a lot more people then bought when they got there because they already knew the price. So what that told me was that it was the price. The reason why a lot of people are clicking through but not many people are buying is because the price was what stopped them. So I then went to $7.99 because I thought, okay, if it's the price that's stopping people, let's try $7.99 instead of $9.99 for the collection. So you see here, it then made a much bigger loss, 34% loss. And that's because both the retailer click rate went down. So I was saying get it all for $7.99, but also the sales rate didn't go up enough to compensate. In fact, it dramatically dropped. So I made a lot less money. So the next thing I did was I reduced the price to $4.99. And this is where it started to get more interesting. So $9.99 to $7.99, from my guess, was that it wouldn't make much of a difference because psychologically the difference between $9.99 and $7.99 isn't really that much of a difference. It's about $10 is what people will do. They'll just round it up. $4.99 though is a big drop because then it's $5. It's half. And that's exactly what I saw. So I was spending $4.82, and on the first couple of days I made $11.65 per day, which is 142% profit. Now, obviously, I wanted to run it for longer because that's just an initial thing, which can be a fluke. So after I'd run for a week, I was then making 65% profit. And after I'd run for 2 weeks, I'm now making 22% profit. So it does seem like that was just an aberration. And when I, let's see if I can get this to work. Just bear with me one moment. So you can now see that I'm on my KDP screen. So this is February, before I started advertising at all. And here's where I started advertising in March. And you can see I get a couple of books sold here and there when it's $10. And about here is where I moved over to $8, and you see it's about the same. And then suddenly it bumps way up when I go to $4.99, and the next day as well. So that also corresponds with a weekend. So I'm thinking that it's a combination of some people who are waiting for a sale, because I believe there's some websites where you can put things on your wish list and then see when the price changes. And also maybe just because it was a weekend and people wanted to read something. So if I go to the last 30 days instead, you can see that March the 28th, which if I open my calendar here, March the 28th was a Sunday. there's a big jump. And then also on April the 3rd, which is a Saturday, there's a big jump. So that tells me that the weekend is a time when people read, which is kind of obvious. March the 20th was also a Saturday. And there's 2, which is higher than the ones around it. But if you see from the pattern, we've got days where there's a couple of sales and then nothing and then nothing. So a couple of sales granted at a higher price of $10. But now there's big jumps, and then even during the week there's a sale or 2 here and there, which means that now if I go back to my Blurb Tester screen, which means that now I'm making 22% profit, and back up here on $10 I was making 14% profit. So it's not a huge difference, but it's enough of a difference that it's worth making if the goal is, which mine is to make a profit but also get as many readers as possible interested in the series. Because my goal out of this is as an author, not as a marketer or not as a salesperson. The amount I'm investing, as I've shown, it's about $5. So when I'm spending $150 in a month, I'm making $30 profit. It's not something that's going to allow me to retire. But it is something that's very interesting for me as an author to see people enjoying my books, and I've gotten positive feedback back, which is the main thing. The main thing I want out of my books is for people to enjoy them. And as well, if it's making a profit, that means that I can keep doing it. Obviously, the KDP takes 90 days to pay you back, but after those first 3 months, the money that I'm using on advertising to get more readers is money I've already spent. It's just rolling over and over again, as long as these results keep going. So the other thing I just want to show before I finish up is, if I go back to Blurb Tester, I'm just going to show something that was really interesting that I've seen in the last few days. So I showed all the tests I've run before. Here are the tests that I tried out, which didn't work, just for information's sake. So I'd get the whole collection for $9.89. You see 11%. That's not a very good click-through rate. Get the whole collection for $9.99. You save $14.96. Still slightly better, but just the same result, really. When I reduced to $4.99, I said only $4.99 for the whole collection. Still not great. I didn't actually leave that running very long, but 8% is not particularly good. Then I had the old copy, but with the new price. So that went back to the 27% that I had before. Then I tried new copy with 6 books for the price of 1, but I didn't mention the price. So it's the exact same copy as before, but without the price, just with 6 books for the price of 1. That's 52%. Oh, sorry, I said something a bit off there. This is the old copy with 6 books for the price of 1. This has one tiny change, which is before I said grab a copy and read the whole series today. That gave me 33% click through. Now I just say grab a copy today without and read the whole series. That one change, which I did in the last couple of days, is a 20% difference in terms of clicks, which is the whole reason why I made this website. Because as I mentioned in my previous video, I'm not a marketer. I don't know what's going to work best. And this website is way been worth the time I've invested in it. To see the fact that tiny changes like that can mean the difference between successful marketing that allows me to keep getting new readers and unsuccessful marketing where I'm just making enough of a loss that I just cut it out my losses, cut my Facebook marketing, which is what I've done before. I ran Facebook marketing a few years ago and then stopped it because I just wasn't making any money. This tool is just so worth it. So I'd highly recommend going onto it. As I mentioned in the previous video, it's completely free. It's just affiliate code supported. So I get the affiliate income from people clicking all these links. which to mention at the very end, that's now supporting just the clicks from my one test is supporting the website. So that's very positive as well. So that was all I was going to share with you today. I hope some of it's useful. Obviously, if there's marketing experts out there, they'll know a lot better than me how all of this stuff works. I'm just feeling around a little in the dark. But the differences I've seen are just amazing with the A/B testing I've been running, and I'd highly recommend it. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.